Welcome to EM Travel's Guide to Dolphin and Whale Watching. EM Travel is an ethical tour provider, providing customers with ethical holiday packages, providing advice on responsible travel, and promoting sustainability across the industry. We here at EM Travel follow an animal rights view on ethics, wherein animals have intrinsic value and that it is our responsibility as humans to protect them. We understand that a growing number of people are looking for more ethical forms of tourism, but we also understand that with many messages coming from advertisers, newspapers, and companies, it can be hard to know what constitutes ethical tourism. We also appreciate that many dolphin and whale watching companies themselves are growing increasingly aware of the need to make their business ethical and sustainable. Not only will it ensure the preservation of the animals on which their business depends, but it will also help improve their company image. We have compiled this handy guide to help you understand what the negative impacts of dolphin and whale watching can be, but also to show you the positive impacts. We'll also show you how to identify an ethical company from an unethical company, and to share with you our vision of a more sustainable future where tourism and conservation go hand in hand.
Hi, I'm Maria, and I'll be talking about the negative impacts that dolphin and whale watching can have. Since its beginnings in the 1950s, dolphin and whale watching has become one of the fastest growing tourism industries in the world. By 2001, the industry was worth $1 billion, growing to $2.1 billion by 2009. With this rapid growth, there has also been a noticeable increase in stories surrounding the damage caused by the industry. The most noticeable and sometimes shocking effects of the industry can be seen in stories wherein the dolphins or whales, or cetaceans to use the collective term, are injured or killed in collisions with boats. But there can also be less obvious impacts. The presence of boats disrupts the feeding patterns of the cetaceans, as the disruption causes them to abandon the area for new grounds where prey can be of lower quality or more difficult to find. And it's not only the presence of the boat, but the noises they make. Cetaceans rely on echolocation for communication, and the noise from the boats can disrupt these signals, impacting the animal's ability to reproduce or give danger signals. The noise can also cause changes in the speed and direction that animals swim in. This increases the animal's energy expenditure, which can lead to chronic levels of stress and can have a negative effect on health. A study found that in areas where tourboats were found, dolphins were observed too. Feed 66.5% less, socialize 44.2% less, moved in a confused manner 406.8% more, traveled 28.8% more, and the resting was never observed when tourboats were present. There are also the long-term impacts to consider, as the problems caused to the mating and feeding behavior can lead to decline in population. This can have a knock-on effect to the larger marine ecosystem. A recent article showed the wonderful effects that whale waste can have on reversing climate change, with the organism and animals that feed on their excrement absorbing carbon that humans pump into the atmosphere.
My name is Dan, and I will be talking to you about companies you should avoid when considering a dolphin or whale watching trip. There are many companies out there who will want you to go dolphin or whale watching with them, and a good place to start is to research a company through their company website or through reading reviews from tourists who have experienced the operator firsthand. Doing this helps you see the perspective of both the tourists and how the operators convey themselves. This allows for a better judgment. One company we recommend you avoid is Whale Watching Danushka, which is based in Marissa, Sri Lanka. This company may not seem so bad at first glance. However, there is no mention of codes of conduct or a CSR policy, which shows a lack of understanding in regards to ethical implications and does not promote that they follow regulations which are required not to disturb cetaceans in their habitat. There is also no mention of conservation efforts or how whale watching tours can affect cetaceans through boat sounds or getting too close to them. Whale Watching Danushka is a poorly structured company website which appears extremely unprofessional. A look on TripAdvisor at Whale Watching Danushka reinforces the fact that this is definitely an operator to avoid. A high number of bad reviews, most of which state how unprofessional the crew behave. Some reviews stating that the boats were chasing the whales, which is against regulation and extremely unethical. And a range of reviews detail how poorly they treat their customers, with some stating that the overcrowding and speeding across waves was extremely dangerous. After the season of 2016, there has been call to change the way in which tour operators in Marissa function, as due to a lack of supervision in the area, there was many reports of irresponsible behaviour and in one case, a clash between whale watching operators. This new regulation will ensure the safe operation for the cetaceans, tourists and the operators themselves. Another company we at EM Travel would recommend avoiding is Vallarta Whales, which is based in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. In 2008, there was a declared crisis on whale watching within the Banderas Bay due to an abundance of pollution, unlicensed operators ignoring regulations, and also some even being aggressive towards whales. The situation in Puerto Vallarta has improved since, although there are still uncertified operators. Vallarta Whales has absolutely no mention of codes of conduct, ethical guidelines, or conservation efforts. They do claim that they are pioneers within the area and mention an oceanologist they work with. However, there is no record of the company on any review websites, and some of their website contains fake links to conservation affiliate websites.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I would like to tell you about the positive impacts of whales and dolphin watching. The ocean is a home to the biggest animals that exist or has ever existed, the whales, the most mysterious creatures on the planet. Due to their giant intelligence, social bond, and gentle nature, many people feel a spiritual connection and experience. Responsible whale and dolphin watching can be seen as a green ecotourism activity that helps promote education and conservation. Education not only increases visitor awareness of whales and dolphins, but can also be fun and enjoyable experience and an important part of your trip. The financial benefits of whale or dolphin watching are numerous and include the generation of income to local communities, the provision of jobs, and the funding and development of the local infrastructure and services. A study carried out in Tonga showed that the whale and dolphin watching activity created much needed jobs in the area and that the area had seen a number of economic benefits from the presence of tourists. It is essential that your contribution to the conservation will benefit also the participants, the whales, dolphins, and the marine environment. For example, many responsible companies donate a portion of their profits to conservation organizations. Go for it if you are fascinated by wildlife, marine ecology, and photography. While you are watching whales and dolphins, expand your knowledge, support conservation, think ethically, and behave responsibly. Before you go to watch these wonderful creatures, do your homework and choose a responsible tour operator.
Hi, my name is Emma, and I'd like to recommend what to look out for when considering companies for your own whale or dolphin watching experience. The cost and weather are important when choosing a destination, and we think so is the choice made between companies offering this experience. There are often many companies operating in the same area. We recommend the following companies due to their ethical and responsible behaviour. One company we at EM Travel approve of is Whale Watch Kaikoura, based in New Zealand. The positives of this company are an example of things to look out for when thinking about booking your own experience. All boats use jet propulsion units to minimise noise and prevent potential harm to marine life that can be caused with exposed propellers. Also, the crew removes rubbish from the water, so the impacts of pollution are reduced by the intervention of this company. And Whale Watch supports and donates funding to research conducted in the area on marine life, some of which have used its boats. Another ethical company is Maya's Legacy Whale Watching, operating on the west coast of the US. The company is a member of the Pacific Whale Watch Association. It follows conduct guidelines set for the well-being of marine life, and the company is committed to education about marine life and donates to conservation organisations. Also operating in neighbouring waters is BC Whale Tours, based in British Columbia, Canada. Additional measures it takes are directly charging customers a $2 conservation fee to maintain consistent funding. Further donations are welcomed, and the hull design of boats used increases efficient movement on the water, which reduces fuel consumption. The final company we'd like to mention is Raja and the Whales, based in Mirissa, Sri Lanka. This company is smaller than those previously mentioned, but it's still conscious of its impacts on marine life. It voluntarily follows internationally recognised regulations. The crew are very knowledgeable and aim to educate customers. Also, the crew refuse to chase whales moving directly away from boats, despite competitors doing so. So, the main things we think are important to look out for are companies openly discussing marine issues and showing the actions that they have taken to reduce or eliminate these issues. Also, participation in funding conservation organisations and facilitating research are other positive factors that can be part of your selection.
Hi, I'm Katy and I'm going to talk to you about how you can be a more ethical tourist. The following is a list of factors to consider when choosing a whale or dolphin watching company. Number 1. Have a look at the company's website and advertising. Does the company guarantee that you will see a whale? A number of factors affect the way that cetaceans move in the water, including time of day, tide, temperature, and weather. There is a chance that you might not see a whale. Companies that promise that you will may partake in unethical behaviour, such as chasing the pods, causing the animals distress. Does the company do work other than tours? Some companies also use their boats for research and conservation. Others donate some of their profits to conservation organisations. By using these companies, you are actively supporting the advancement of knowledge about the animals and their future conservation. Is the company a member of an association? Organisations such as the Pacific Whale Watch Association provide guidelines for member companies and ensure that the companies adhere to them. Number 2. Look at the staff. Does the company provide training? Do reviews state that they are informative and knowledgeable about the whales? Well-educated staff not only understand the needs of the whales, but will also be able to pass this information on to you as a customer. Number 3. Look at the boats themselves. What type of motor does the boat use? Jet propulsion creates less noise than propellers and is less likely to injure whales or dolphins that swim close to the boats. What is the design of the boat? Modern hull designs mean that the boats glide through the water more efficiently, improving fuel efficiency and reducing pollution. Number 4. Read reviews about the company. It may promise a lot, but people who have actually used the company will be able to tell you whether the company's claims are true. Number 5. If you're still not certain about whether or not a company is ethical, get in touch with them. Tourists not only share the responsibility for ethical behaviour, but also have the power to change the industry behaviour by demanding more from the companies. By getting in touch with them and letting them know that you are looking for an ethical company, they will be more aware of the demand and start changing their behaviour to cater for it. We here at EM Travel hope that you've enjoyed our video presentation on ethical dolphin and whale watching. You as a tourist have a lot of power to change the industry by choosing only companies that partake in ethical practices. But there is always more that can be done, and we would like to share with you our vision on what companies and the industry at large can do to promote a more ethical approach. Firstly, we would like to see the introduction of a globally recognised qualification for staff working on board tour boats. Improving the knowledge of staff will improve the customer experience and leave them with meaningful knowledge about the animals and their plight. We would like to see the qualification be low cost and easily obtained so as not to discriminate against countries where economic resources are limited. We understand that whale and dolphin watching can be a much needed economic boost in some areas and would not wish to jeopardise this. Secondly, the International Whaling Commission is an organisation that already exists to promote the conservation of cetaceans. We would like to see the organisation take a more active role by offering a membership service wherein companies can pay to be a registered member. Membership would only be offered to those companies who follow the ethical guidelines set out. In exchange, the IWC would put funds toward advertising and promoting these companies and the values they uphold. Thirdly, we would like to see more companies punished financially for partaking in unethical behaviour. While we do not want to see companies shut down, the purpose of these fines would be to incentivise a move toward more ethical behaviour. We do acknowledge that such a scheme would require the cooperation of local governments and law enforcement, and that it may be a limiting factor in countries where these resources are limited. The growing care and concern for animal rights in tourism raises an important warning sign for those who participate in animal-based attractions. As a tour operator, we are recognising the changing public opinion toward a more humane treatment of animals. Whale and dolphin watching tours should follow 3 vital principles: education, inspiration, and welfare. The future of these animals lies in our hands. We can destroy them or appreciate them.